10 years back, it had aroused great hopes and prospects of emerging as a global superpower. But when the previous government NDA's term ended and Mr. Chidambaram became the finance minister in the year 2004 after the elections, he said the economic fundamentals of India are very strong and the balance of payments robust. Which means that the balance of payment account, the external account of India, is in favor of India in 54 years. Only in 4 years India had surplus in the external account. Till 2002, for the 25-year period, we had only deficits. You know, in the 150th anniversary of Swami Vivekananda, the National Intelligence Council of America, which is the think tank attached to the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, they came out with a report, what the world will be in 2030. And in that report, it is said, all the major world powers today will become regional powers. There will be only 3 major world powers, which are called global powers. That will be America, China, and India. That what operates on the ground is very different from what is being perceived. I will give you a small statistics. You all look at the Economic Times and Business Standard as to what is the Sensex of India. Sensex of India consists of 30 Indian companies. You know, the contribution of the 30 Indian companies to Indian GDP is just 1%. You know, the private sector in India used to employ 75 lakh people in 1991. It employs 115 lakh people, just an improvement of 30 lakhs with all this IT, with all the growth in the financial sector, with all the growth in the stock market. The largest economic performance has been by the non-corporate sector, in which there are 43 million non-farming enterprises, 75% of them unregistered, which employ 100 million people, for which the bank finance is just 5%. This is India. The foreign exchange reserves touching 300 billion and projected to rise to 325 billion before the UPA term ends is the proud claim of Chidambaram. But he would not utter a word about almost 4-fold rise in foreign debt from 112 billion to 246 billion by December 2013. He will not utter a word about the rise in the short-term debt by 26 times. You know, borrowing short-term abroad is the best way to destroy the rupee, because you have to pay back in 3 years, 4 years. External commercial borrowings have risen by 6 times. And trade finance has risen by 22 times. Why will the rupee not fall? The rupee fell because of extravagance. And a lie was being told and believed and propagated, and people are evangelized into believing that lie. What will we do? Oil is something which we cannot avoid importing. Oil imports have dented the external sector. And our country is having such a lust for gold. It is gold which is responsible for it. I tell you, in no other country such lies could be told. I am going to demonstrate it to you as to how these were secondary reasons. From 45 rupees to a dollar, the rupee depreciated to 68 rupees to a dollar. Crash. 2,30,000 crores is the additional liability India incurred because of the fall in the value of the rupee. Did anyone understand what was the consequence of the fall in the value of the rupee? And a country which is having huge imports, when the rupee value falls, imports become costlier. Who will absorb that cost? The banks, the government, the people. $339 billion was the current account deficit. And why this $339 billion deficit occurred? We were told it is oil. We were told it is gold. I am going to tell you the true story. The amount of capital goods India imported in this 9-year period was $587 billion. And we ran a huge trade deficit. From whom did we import? We imported from China. We ran a trade deficit of $175 billion with China. It is 5 years India's defense expenditure. Every nation has to protect its market, protect its industry, protect its exports. That is the game. Everybody will talk of free trade, but nobody will do it. Everybody will talk of freedom, nobody will give. But we talked and believed because we had such a docile leadership who wanted appreciation from the white man. You have intellectuals who have no independence. You have businessmen who have no intense knowledge. The economic discourse of India was informed only by illiteracy. $587 billion is the capital goods import. You know what is the net oil import? You will be stunned. It is just $505 billion. But I think one honest leader, one capable person, one person who doesn't mind about the consequences and only bothered about the country can turn this country in just 1 year. And I suppose this election will produce such a person. Thank you very much.